views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough.
Hi, and welcome to Good Medicine. If you need a dose of good medicine, I think we all do, you're in the right place. I'm Holly Davis, and I am counselor and a life coach here in Las Vegas. I am counselor. That didn't sound really good, did it? Okay, so today's show is about happiness. And we're going to start out with just some guffaws, kaflugels, mishaps that happened to me this weekend, and just on the way in, just to kind of break the tension. I called John and I'm like, you know what, I'm not really sure why, but Siri led me astray today because she don't know Las Vegas. Las Vegas is being rebuilt as we speak, like the hammering and the jackhammer, and every street, road, highway is very askew right now. And so I thought it was going the right way, and I ended up on D Street and something else. I'm like 5 minutes away, and every 5 minutes I would be like, so I'm like another 5 minutes away. And so, you know, thinking he'd be like, okay, it's cool. He just laughed. He just laughed at me. So I made it. We're here. And sometimes you just have to laugh at that. If you don't, you're going to find yourself getting more and more frustrated throughout the day when frustration comes. So, and I'm not really sure why, but the frustration for me just built up over the weekend as well. I don't know if it's full moon, kaflugel, wolf blood moon, or what have you. But we do know that when the moon is closer to the earth, our emotions are much higher. So emotions were high for me this weekend. I was watching my kids outside. It was so beautiful. And now it's kind of freezing outside for everyone in every state, right? Every part of the world is freezing right now. I guess that's not true for Africa, but most of the northern hemisphere, we're all freezing. And so this weekend, it was really nice in Las Vegas. It was like 62 degrees, and we were outside, and we always put cones outside. You know, some people have the sign that says kids are playing in the area, and for us, we just put these. My neighbor had this great idea of putting these red cones up because we have all the neighbor kids, and half the neighborhood are my kids. So they're outside playing on their bikes, and I always watch, and I'll sit outside with them, and I'll let them know when there's a car, because they're not quite aware enough yet to listen and look for cars. And so we just give them a heads up to be careful, to get on one side of the road or the other, and stay out of the way of the cars as well. And you know, we just can't. I don't think you can be safe enough with children. I lean on the side of safety and don't take risks as much as possible, as much as you possibly can. So for whatever reason, I was inside, and all the kids were inside as well, but my son and his friend were walking home. They weren't on their bikes any longer. They'd finished riding their bikes, and they were walking home. And my son walks in and he goes, "Hey, Mom, there's a guy outside." And he said, "Why'd you put these cones out? Are you stupid? You stupid kids." And I just kind of blew it off, like, "Hey, yeah. And then I kind of looked again. And I looked outside, and the guy was over there trying to, you know, get some information from the neighbor and trying to find out what was going on with these cones, right? So I'm not sure what happened, but this redheaded Potawatomi, Indian, German, Irish lady, Oklahoma girl, came out before my brain did. And I walked outside, and I'm like, "Excuse me, are you talking to my children?" And I think I was shaking. "Did you call my son stupid?" First of all, I just want to preface that by saying I never call my children stupid. We don't even allow that word in my house. And are you the stupid kid? And so my main thing was, "Excuse me, sir." No cussing, no expletives, but very loud. "Excuse me, sir. You need to talk to me and not address my children ever in the ever of ever. Ever." I was shaking. I was I was very upset, and my neighbor, she just, at that point, she just kind of walked in because the burst cloud after I walked out the door was still shaking the whole neighborhood. And the thing that really bothered me about that, it was, you're coming at me, but all we wanted to do is to protect our children and have people slow down because people are ripping through the streets, and it's a neighborhood, so 25 miles per hour, that's how fast you're supposed to go. And if children are present, if pedestrians are present, you would want to go much, much slower, like 15, 10 miles per hour, right? Isn't that, I don't know, that's somewhere somebody said that. So it was just interesting that he was coming at us, and then he was like, and nobody's even supposed to be playing out here. And I'm like, oh, but it's the land of the free. It's a free fun day. And I started doing this, you know, I mean, it just got so ridiculous. Finally, my husband came out and he's like, yeah, so I'll take care of this from here. And he's like, sir, I'm just telling you, if it comes to advocacy for children, it's not going to get quiet, or no one's going to win, because if it's for her children or anyone else's children, advocacy is going to prevail. So why don't you just get in your car? I want to listen to the president now. So bye-bye. So that's how our weekend went. And I'm still just, I don't know, maybe you guys had that too, the emotions, everything that's going on in the political climate of our country right now, or even just in the world. There's just a lot of mistrust. There's a lot of anger towards each other. There's a lot of disunity. And generally, I'm like, hey, all I'm saying is give peace a chance, and let's just love each other, and you be you, I'll be me. Let's be we, and I see the goodness in you, you see it in me. And it's just so interesting. And so instead of beating myself up or wondering what that was all about, I just was with it and with the emotions. And I came up with the concept for today's program about happiness. What is happiness? When are you happy? When everything's going great and the neighbors aren't in your face and you don't explode and you don't have a bad weekend and the laundry's not bad and everything goes well and there's money in your bank. What is it? So I went to social media and we did a consensus of what do you believe happiness is. And of course I'm going to think about and marinate on what I believe happiness is, and when I work with others, when I find they're most happy. So we're going to look at that. And we're going to look at some answers as to how you can be your ultimate, highest, happiest, best self, even if you have a little kaflugel. What would be the right word? Interaction with the neighbor, some intensive conversation, intensive fellowship with the neighbor. And you know, I wish no ill will. I really was just like, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. And I hope that my neighbors don't think I'm crazy. But anyway. All about passion, all about advocacy, all about things that are very important to us. And happiness, it's really interesting. I can say this about happiness. You know when you're not. So stay with us on Good Medicine. I'm going to get my hot coffee on WWDBTV is what you're watching. And we're going to talk about happiness. When are we happy? Can we be happy at all times? Is it possible? Is happiness fleeting? Or can you be consistently happy? So stay with us. This is Good Medicine.
You've heard of public relations, but you're not sure quite how it fits into your communication and marketing strategy. You're puzzled about how it can help you. I can help. I can help solve the public relations puzzle by showing you how all the different pieces of PR fit together to help you share your story, to help shape your brand, build relationships, and spark conversations. It's about connecting and building relationships because business is personal. You can visit my website at onebluecube.com to learn how I can help you share your story.
Hi, I'm Holly, and you are watching and listening to Good Medicine on WWDBTV. Good Medicine, we are just, it's a dose of whatever ails you, we are going to talk about, we're going to look at, we're going to dissect it, we're going to process it, and I'm going to give you some answers and some healthy ways to look at things that happen in your life, things that happen in my life. I'm a mother of 5. I have lots of laundry on the weekend, lots of cleaning. I have a business, I have a private practice counseling, and I do life coaching as well. So generally, busy person, and I love doing radio. I've been doing radio since I was 18 years old. Yeah, might be 10 years. Super genius at that time, and I love it. I just have a passion for radio. Once you get the bug of radio and television, you can't really get rid of the bug. And what I really love about Good Medicine is we're able to talk about things, stuff that happens in life that's not your Facebook stuff, and it's not on CNN, and it's not all those, the media stuff. It's just the real life stuff that happens, and how do you deal with it. And I love that concept because it takes the stigma out of everyone. Everyone's crazy. Everyone has a come apart. Everyone has a catharsis, breakdowns, meltdowns, not enough money in your bank, not enough love, not enough happiness. And so I want to give some of the answers to more than just one-on-one with my clients. And I love my clients. I love working with people, but I want to get the message out to a bigger audience because there's other people I won't ever get to reach. And so I love this conduit to be able to transmute that information and the love and just the gift of counseling. Counseling is a gift that I had before I ever went to school. In a man are many waters, and the person of understanding brings them out. And so I'm just an understanding person. That's my gift. People want to tell me their life story. So I went to school so that I could, you know, not mess anybody up and learn how to do it and get paid for talking people off the ledge, because I do it daily, every single solitary day, whether I want to or not, because that's my gift. So in my private practice, I'm not taking any more clients at this point, no new clients, or probably not even with the life coaching. I'm also in school with my PhD. However, I will say that this program is a way for us to get the message out and to be able to have that interaction. But I do offer my number, 702-626-9400, and that if there is someone out there who would like to get some help for some unhappiness in your life, there's no reason to stay unhappy. Everything is treatable, and we can all work on being a little more happy tomorrow or the next moment or the next moment. We don't have to stay in that place of road rage or yelling at your neighbor or getting lost on the highway on the way or being late. We can always change at any given time. I work with a lot of children as well, and some of them have some behavior issues, and I always just say, you know what, at any time you can change. At any time you can stop this tirade and turn around, the fits or the tantrums. You can at any time turn it around. Same with our food. At any time you can eat a better meal. Same with our money. At any time you can begin to save. Same with our relationships. At any time you can turn and love. At any time. And hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. And that's the thing I find that is the most interesting about this counseling career that I have, is I grew up in not a perfect home and went through so much of the things that some of my clients have gone through. So when I say I understand, and I'm telling you this is what's worked for me, and I don't ever make it about me, but I understand the things that have worked for me, that good medicine, I share with others. And that's my gift, that's my passion, that's what I want to do on this planet. And believe me, it comes from the hard knocks of having a fight with your neighbor, or with your siblings, or with your family, or with your best friends, or having interactions with people that aren't pleasant, or people are hurtful, harmful, abusive, living on a planet that's not perfect. And so what do you do with that now? How do you turn it around and make yourself as happy as possible? I truly believe that the secret to life is being happy. Secret to life is being happy. So Sunday was a much more calm day, and I decided to take my time, have my coffee absolutely perfect, because life is too short. You know how you like your coffee just the way that you like it, perfect, in the right cup, in the right mixture, and what have you. So I was sitting on my stairs, and I was just enjoying my cup of coffee, and my son walks down the stairs. He's 7, and he has the kitty in his hand. So first of all, those are two of my most favorite things. My son, all my children, but this little boy is just so cute with this kitty cat, and I love kitties. If you know me, I'm not crazy cat lady, but I'm just saying, love kitties, small little animals, I love them. So I'm a huge animal person, but he was saying to the kitty, he was holding her, and he was saying, "You are so cute and smart and little. I just love you." Just holding the kitty walking down the stairs. And he didn't even notice that I was sitting there. And in that moment, right there, I thought, I'm so happy. I couldn't have prepared that. I couldn't have set that up. It was just a notice, an awareness. I'm so happy right now because these are people I love in a place that I love. And I love that he's reciprocating love that he has had, because I'm pretty sure I've told my son, you're so cute and you're so smart and so little. I'm sure, and in the same tone even, he had this mother-ese going too. And I think it's neat that we can definitely teach our kids to be happy and loving. And we can teach them to be angry, and we can teach them to be bitter. So everything that happens with our children and the people around us even is not what we say, but what we do. And believe me, if you're alive on this planet, someone's watching you and you're an example to someone. So who are your examples of happiness and people that are happy? So I put that out on social media. What is happiness? And the response is overwhelming. I've had hundreds and hundreds of people respond and tell me what they think is happiness. And of course, I've done research on this and psychology and with religions, and there's just so many different avenues that you can look at what is happiness, because we all want it. We talked about love a couple of weeks ago. We all want to be loved. We talked about self-esteem. We all want to be confident, know what we're doing, and make more strides to be happy within ourselves and happy with our life on a mental, physical, social, and spiritual realm. So how do we get to that place? For me, I think that we really think that it's a build-up to the biggest things in life. I'm going to speak for myself. That wedding, the graduations, the births, the best-selling book, millions of dollars in your bank, being the most successful person, having the most likes. And it's truly interesting in some of those things that I've experienced, like my wedding, for example. I don't remember just marinating and being there and being present. I remember, okay, I've got to go talk to her, flitting around and being the little social butterfly so that no one's feelings were hurt, and getting to talk to everyone, and barely spent any time with my husband. At the end of the night, we're like, hey, how you doing? High five, you made it, great. Let's sit down for a second. And I missed the happiness of that event, not being there, not relishing in the moment. And it's very typical of most humans is that we're usually finding ourselves, I'm hot, I'm cold, it's freezing, I'm a sweltering ball of heat right now. You know what I'm talking about, some of you women out there, right? I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, my coffee is not hot enough. We're always in our head about how we are right now. And I believe we can push for happiness by going further than what are my circumstances right now, how am I, what's going on in my head, and just looking around and being aware of just right now. Because a lot of you, if you'll just think about it for a second, right now, you didn't even think if you were hot or if you're cold, if your stomach hurt, if you had a boo-boo, if you had an owie. A lot of times we don't even stop and notice. And I mentioned that many, many times in my program. You don't even stop and notice how you are, how you be. And if you will check in, there might be times that you could catch yourself being content, that you are happy, that everything is okay right now. In this moment, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You're just receiving. You're just being. And that, my friends, is contentment, is happiness. We go on the search for happiness many times, and I've heard it said as well, it's just right there within you. A lot of times too, being the human that I am, I'll prepare myself for happiness. The kids are at school, I've gotten some laundry done, I've handled most of my work, I've taken care of these fires, and once I just get 2 or 3 more things done, I'm going to reward myself and go outside and sit in the sun. And I've begun to make a switch of I'm going to not do anything except for be right. I've got to get right. I've got to get my head in the game. I need to be. I need to get in the sun. I need to calm myself down. I need to breathe. I need to ground. I need to pray. I need to meditate. I need to cleanse. I need to air out my house and my life and just stop everything for a minute before I keep going. Because we have a propensity to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and then go, oh, I remember I was going to reward myself and sit down. Reward myself and just have a cup of coffee and just sit here. Or have a cup of coffee with a friend. Instead of rewarding myself, I'm beginning to have that cup of coffee with a friend. Our friends are extremely important, very key ingredient to happiness. I'm going to sit down and just reward myself just because, before I move on. So instead of working and working and working and rewarding, we are going to learn to follow our bliss. Not because we have earned it or we've deserved it. It's just because we are worthy to receive. I am worthy to receive. One of the first things I do for most of my clients, I'll put on a piece of paper, I am worthy to receive, and I say, hey, take this, if I spell receive right. I don't know if I spelled receive right, but here you go. Take this little piece of paper out, a Post-it, and just put it in your pocket or in your purse, and remember this for today. I'm worthy to receive. I am worthy to be happy. I get to be happy. Why else would we be put on this planet? And I know so many of us, we definitely have a path, a reason why we're here, a gift. But that gift isn't to cause you to suffer. I also know that there are some philosophies that suffering is wanting to be happy and it's fleeting, or being happy for a minute and then it's gone and then we're left sad. Happiness can be continual. Joy is consistent. Happiness is not contingent upon big, huge life events. It's us. It's who we are. It's what's around us. And believe me, I know in a lot of philosophies as well, if you think about all the things that make you happy, you will be happy. If you think about all the things you want, they will come about. What you think about, you can bring about. But I really, truly love As a Man Thinketh. And in that book, As a Man Thinketh, he says it's not really what you think about that brings you happiness. It's who you are. It's how you be that brings you happiness. If we are good people, if we're loving, if we want to help others, then we're going to get more of that helping, loving others. If I love myself and if I respect myself, then we're going to love and be respectful to others. If I'm unkind to myself, if I'm unfriendly, if I don't think the highest and best of others, it's very difficult for the highest and best and utmost respect and success to happen for myself as well. So I love that concept. I do believe in thinking about things that make you happy. I know there are a lot of books like Rhonda Byrne's The Power that talks about putting out there all the things that you love and just make it perpetual, continual, and not resisting. I really wish I had that Barbie McDonald's. I remember when I was a little girl, I really wish I had that Barbie Corvette. I really wish I had it. And so the shift is thinking about it, putting it on the list, and knowing that it's going to come. It's seeing it there versus being the person who asks please and thank you, who puts it out there, who is kind, who is loving, who is diligently rewarded. So I think it's a combination of those things. We deserve, we are, we receive. So those are some of my philosophies on happiness. I'm going to give you some resources, some homework assignments, and we're also going to look at what other people think about happiness. So when I put this out on social media, what is happiness? A lot of people, of course, it's very subjective. Some things that make you happy may not make me happy. I don't like cold. Some people love cold or snow. I can appreciate snow, and I think it's very, very beautiful, but I don't like to be out and cold and wet, right? I live in Las Vegas in the Mojave Desert, 120 degrees, really doesn't bother me much. It doesn't bother me. Some people, that would be, no, I can't live in Sheol, right? It's too hot, I'm not going to deal with it. Or the desert, it's very dry here, It's very dusty, it's very sandy. There's not a lot of, well, I used to think there wasn't a lot of trees or nature, but I've come to find that there's very, very beautiful nature in the desert. It's very, very beautiful here. And I've seen the most incredible birds that I've never seen anywhere else. And hummingbirds and dragonflies and a woodpecker that looks like a zebra that comes in my backyard. There's beautiful places up in the mountain of Mount Charleston, and then we're not very far from LA and the ocean. So this has really been a really great place for me, and an amazing place for me to grow up and to rear my children. So what makes me, and so I've learned to be happy where I am. Bloom where you're planted. Ever hear that? So for what's happy for me may not be happy for you. So one key to happiness is finding out what makes you happy. So when I put out there, what is happiness? Satisfaction with any given moment is what Emma Jane said. Emma Jane was my grandma's name, by the way. Hi, Emma Jane. Stephanie Stewart Berry said contentment. This was one of my favorites. This is Michelle Angel. She said happiness is temporary. You know happiness because of sadness. Isn't that true? We would never know what happiness was if we weren't sad, if we didn't have its counterpart, right? And then she wrote me a little story. I love stories. I'm a storyteller myself. So she says, a rich man was looking for happiness. So he went out looking for a guru to teach him. The guru stole his gold and ran. Rich man couldn't keep up, but some hours later, exhausted, rich man came back to the trees to find Guru sitting peacefully. When he approached, Guru gave him his gold coins. Now he was happy. Guru said, you wanted to know what happiness is. Now you know. It's temporary, but bliss sits just beyond. Sometimes it's sitting with those feelings of gain and loss and accepting and just being content with abasing and abounding. Sometimes I have, sometimes I have not. It's a state of mind. It's being in a state of being self-aware and loving yourself regardless. How about loving others regardless? It's really difficult to get upset with others when we just love unconditionally. Happiness is a choice. We've heard that before. Isn't that true? Happiness is a choice. Happiness is us. Happiness is based on things and situations that are readily accepted by you. It's accepting, not being in resistance. That's what Jeff Hobbs said, no resistance. A natural state of being. Here's another interesting one from Vanessa Carroll. Letting our cork float and letting go of resistance. Just letting go of what we think we need for us to be happy. Is it all my socks matching? Is it all the laundry being done? Is it being the best of the best and all my clients happy and my children happy and everybody happy and perfectly coiffured before they went to school? Is that happiness? I think sometimes hanging on to such a strict desire of what we think is happiness can make us very, very sad. Being satisfied with now and eagerly awaiting more. I love that. That was La Quinta. How about this? Being in love with yourself and with all of life and enjoying it to the fullest and sharing that with others. Maybe perhaps happiness is learning to be content and accepting and being happy most of the time and sharing that with others. That part of your being, just that being, not thinking happy thoughts, but just being that, it does automatically roll off to others. However you be, it's like a fountain in your life, and you share it with others whether you want to or not, right? When you're truly laughing and smiling a great deal. True, and I've even seen some psychology that talks about just smiling. Smiling, try it. Smiling, it can actually, it changes your countenance and your being, right? So just smiling a lot helps change and shift a little bit from the angry or the verklempt feeling all the time to lightening up, breathing. We know that that helps as well. But just thinking happy thoughts and laughing those hearty laughs, believe me, if there's an opportunity for me to laugh, I'm going to laugh. If it's at myself, so be it. I usually do laugh at myself. I look back and I go, why was I so uptight? Why was I so serious? And I love laughing as well. And generally those times of great laughter Those are also unplanned. It's just a time of having the cork floating and no resistance and just allowing and just being in the moment. We catch the silly moments when we're just observing more than watching for happiness. Where's my happiness for today? Something wonderful going to happen, right? How about this? Whatever you choose. Choose whatever you choose to have happy. Becoming the love that we are, right? When we become. But it's interesting because, for example, my children, 98% of the time, they're happy. They don't think about what was on the menu, what's the weather like, I'm hot, I'm cold, my foot hurts. They don't think in those terms. They're just, their whole point is to wake up and play and to wake up and get as much as they can out of life. So they're happy. Remember when you were a kid, weren't you happy? And there are some kids that are, you know, the Eeyore type syndrome that are not. There are some people that just have a tendency to not be as happy, and we know through research that a lot of times that is our thought processes. If we're thinking about all the things that we don't like about the situation, it can bring you down. However, if you're a good person and you're not out to hurt anyone else and you're just minding your own self and your own being, if you keep going in that vein and perhaps maybe make an adjustment to your thought processes and allow happiness and rather than being in resistance, open yourself up, maybe put yourself out there to introduce yourself to more people or get interactive with your class if you're a student, or with your friends, putting yourself out there, making those calls, asserting yourself and saying yes more to life. That equals happiness. So sometimes I'll give my clients assignments. This week, we're going to do trust test. You're going to open yourself up to more engagement with others. Instead of just going with head down, no eye contact, nobody talk to me, I'm not peopling today. I've heard that a lot of times. I'm not adulting today. I'm not doing this, so don't even look at me, right? Yeah. Not you per se, but other people. I'm not peopling. I'm not doing this. I'm not talking to anybody. Don't you even dare talk to me. Just hand me my receipt and I'll give you my, I don't even need to hand you my card. We can just swipe it and go, right? So interacting, and what that would look like is trust test. Hi. Looking in eye to the person, perhaps the cashier or your server. Hi. How are you? And it's not a nonchalant. It's really asking, how are you? And I believe happiness will come because then it'll be amazing that someone will ask you, hi, how are you? And really care. And you know that they do. Trust test, right? We don't just put it out there for anyone. There's trusting people, and you will be led for who's trusting. You know, kids know, everybody knows who is not trustworthy. So putting it out there, looking for more friendships, looking for more opportunities to open yourself up to happiness, to saying yes to life more. So we just start out with little bitty assignments, and they'll come back that next week and I'll say, so how did that go? Were you able to open up? Yes, I was. And it didn't turn out well. Okay. How many times do you think that comes up? Well, it didn't turn out well. No, I tried to be friends with somebody and I found out that they were not good people. Okay. The cool thing is that we know who good people are and great people to be around because there's a plumb line, right? And the people that aren't good and aren't cool to hang out with, we've had much experience with that. And we say, hey, I choose not to hang out with that person. So I say, you know what? Great job, because you know what you did? You were in alignment with what you wanted and who you wanted and what kind of situation you wanted to be around with. And that one you chose not to. So good for you. That's great. We're growing. That doesn't mean, okay, I'm done with people now. No more peopling. No more opening myself up to friendships and new experiences. Sometimes we don't know what makes us happy. We're just so content in staying in the place that we are that's safe. And those, of course, are things that do make us happy as well. However, it could be the things that you think are making you happy may not be healthy, right? A gallon of ice cream might make you happy, but it's not the most healthy thing for you. Or just sticking with that menu, not expounding, may not make you the most happy. You don't know because you haven't tried the other things. Or just staying in your turf, in your side of the road with your friends. Perhaps you could invite other people in for friendship. There's a lot of things that we can do that would help us to expound what happiness is. Maybe listen to a different kind of music today. I never knew that I liked classical. I always remember I scoffed at it as a kid, or jazz. Love it. Billie Holiday, one of my favorite, or the blues. Perhaps listening to your children's music. What are you listening to? I always do that. A lot of clients that come in, young kids, say, oh, what's on your playlist? What do you have? Let's listen to it. Or when my son gets in, I'm like, well, let's put your playlist on. Let's hear what you're listening to. I'm interested. I want to know. And perhaps there's music that I'd never heard before that I can appreciate and learn from. I know I have Shazam on my phone, and if there's a song that I'm listening to, I don't care where it is, I'm going to Shazam it and listen to it because I want that music. I want to hear that again. I want to investigate. So it's always great to learn more and expound more. So we're going to take a small break, and I'm going to give you some resources so you can begin to do this research. What do I like? What makes me happy? Do I even know? A lot of aha moments for you when we're thinking about happiness on Good Medicine. I'm Holly Davis. Please stay with us.
This is Sergeant Tim Sutton with Heroes for Autism. There are studies that show at least 49% of all interactions with law enforcement involve somebody with a disability, some of whom have autism. It's imperative that we get out there and train our public safety officers to understand autism and the behaviors related to it.
Hi, I'm Holly Davis, counselor and life coach in Las Vegas, and my number is 702-626-9400. If I can help lead you to someone who can help you in your area, you can also go to psychologytoday.com and put in your zip code and find a counselor. Someone that you can talk to, a neutral person in your life who will listen with unconditional positive human regard. That's what counseling is listening. And for me, I liken it to holding a light in dark places in people's life and just being there with them while they figure it out. Counselors don't figure it out. They just are safe people to share it with. And everybody deserves an opportunity to share those things in life. Thich Nhat Hanh said that life is both dreadful and wonderful, and to practice meditation is to be in touch with both aspects. And I believe that counseling is as well. It's an opportunity for you to look at the things in your life that were horrible, that you've held on to and kept it, and you're still playing by those same guidelines of what bad happened to you. And so sometimes it's irrational to think that the continual bad thing is going to happen to you again and again. So sometimes in counseling we'll take it out of that file of things that happen, but it doesn't mean it's always going to happen. It doesn't label you. This is not your diagnosis. This is not who you are. There's still so many beautiful, beautiful things that are waiting to happen, and so many beautiful things that have happened to you in your life. And that time of meditation is that place where we're just listening, focusing, watching, and being aware of all the amazing things that have happened. And happiness is letting go of all the things that were horrible. We don't have to forget them, and the person that it has made us hopefully has made us more compassionate, more understanding, and has helped us to not want to, those are the things I don't want. I don't want that. What I do want is peace and happiness, and that I deserve. It's everyone's right to be happy. So that's today's program, the Happiness Show on Good Medicine. I did put out on social media, what is happiness, and so many incredible responses. Thank you so much. I like this one. When someone says thank you, that was Gord Van Mulligan. I literally had this conversation on Friday's sermon from the car to my kids on the way to school. I'm like, you know, just saying thank you, it just means so much to your parents, that you don't know the behind the scenes of what they do to give you the things that you have. Appreciation makes everyone happy. Say thank you to your teachers. Say thank you to your friends. Thank you is huge, and I've heard more thank yous this weekend. Makes me happier. When you have all you could ever need or ask for. That was Joseph N. Smith. I love that. Really, when you think about it, you probably do have so much more than you'll ever need, and things that you didn't even ask for, right? thankful for the privilege of being alive right now. Love. Another lady, Carlene Hamilton, said, the most beautiful feeling and the most painful feeling. Think about that one for a little while. Feeling at peace, peace of mind, thankfulness with a side order of peace. Supersize it. That was Barbara Blaha. Gratitude for everything. You can't help but be happy when you start thinking of everything that you can be thankful for. A warm sun, yes. A warm and loving family. Could be different things on a different day. True, isn't that so true? Inner peace, life, being kind. Saying thank you to others, being kind to others can definitely make you happy, and I'm pretty sure that it's reciprocal. It will come right back to you. See how fast, test and see how fast it'll come right back to you. How about this one? Oh, there's just so many. There's just so many. Sorry. There's just so many. I'm getting caught up in the conversations. You know, happiness, it really is. How about just living? Having something to do that day. Some people, happiness might be having nothing to do that day. It's such a contrast. And I really do appreciate all of the insight for people who were on the social media, on Facebook and Twitter and on Instagram, explaining what they found to be happy. And so what I was caught aback here was that someone who had mentioned that they weren't happy at all, and people pouring out to interact with this person to help them find happiness. It's really interesting. Our humanity really is in our natural instinct to just reach out and hurt someone or hurt them, or to cause them pain. It's really, if someone is in pain, we really want to fix them. We want to help them. If someone has a tear, there'll be a tissue so fast it'll make your head spin. We want to soothe and help others. So really, truly, we live in a world where we want other people to be happy. You can't make anyone else happy, for one, and no one else can make you happy. I'm going to repeat that. You can't make other people happy. That's not your right. That's not your power. And other people cannot make you happy. That will really disappoint you very, very fast. Some resources on this. Think about that. Chew on it for a while, right? Finding Joe is a book that you can find on the Joseph Campbell website. You can just download it right on your phone. It is such a great book, and it talks about the hero's journey. It's finding your bliss, finding happiness, finding your place in this world, right? How about this one? Happiness, Essential Mindful Practice, and that's Thich Nhat Hanh. Love his work. And the other book that he wrote that I really enjoy is Peace is Every Breath. So he'll talk about how breathing in, I'm aware I'm breathing in. Here's another one of his quotes. Breathing in, I'm aware of my heart. Breathing out, I smile to my heart, and I know that my heart is still functioning normally. I feel grateful for my heart. If your heart's not functioning normally, you're not living. That's the #1 cause of death is heart failure, right? Thank God, just for a second. I'm breathing. My heart is functioning. I'm smiling to my heart and through my heart to others today. Maybe even a meditation before you walk out the door. Whether I smile or not, and I don't remember, and I'm not spot on today, and I'm not perfect, I just want to smile in my heart to others, whether they can see it or not. How about this one? Zen, the Art of Happiness. Zen and the Art of Happiness is Chris Prentice. Great book, small read. I recommend this to my clients as well, and if they don't get it, I'll email it to them. Just read it. There's Audible books. Download it. I force them to read about happiness and to learn about happiness if you're my client. Like it or not, right? I want people to be happy. Again, I'm not responsible for their happiness, but I'm going to give them everything in my bag to make sure that they learn or they're able to understand more about happiness, if it's up to me. Happiness Project, Gretchen Rubin. This was a really, really good book as well. I highly recommend it. These are books I've already read myself as well. Another book, Think and Grow Rich. That one is a really good book, Napoleon Hill. It's just talking about how to set yourself some goals and think about and really learn to be happy and how that can come about in your life. It's a really dense book. It's full of knowledge. So take your time and marinate on that one, Think and Grow Rich. And As a Man Thinketh, I thought that was a really good book as well. It's a very small book. Daniel Gilbert, he is a psychologist, and his book, Stumbling on Happiness, was hilarious. I laughed. I love laughing, and people who are great writers. If you can write with humor and make me laugh, love it. So some books about happiness. Why don't we start there? And it's not really about our circumstances or thinking about being happy, but we can start getting in a flow of happiness. And some ways to do it is definitely just get a piece of paper and write down the things that make you happy. Now, I have a client who listens to this program, and you know who you are. And he was like, you know, and I'm sitting there listening at work and thinking, oh, it's just so much work. It's just so much to get this piece of paper and go find a piece of paper and write down that stuff. How important is happiness in the next year, in 2019? How important is happiness to you? Your own happiness, not other people making you happy, your circumstances, your clean house, your great ride, the amount of money in your bank. Those kinds of things don't make you happy. Get a piece of paper out and write the things that make you happy. I make every one of my clients make them. I ask them kindly to do homework, you work, and write the list of 100 things I want, or the 100 things that make me happy. I don't care if it's Hubba Bubba bubblegum and honeybees and sunshine. Write it down and start thinking about those things. Start unlocking the blocks to happiness in your life by thinking about what are those things that make me happy. Write it, feel it, allow happiness. Many times we're not happy because we're convinced that we don't deserve to be. We haven't been good enough. I'm here today to tell you that that is absolutely not true. You deserve to be happy. I am worthy to receive. Get the little Post-it today. Write it on a Post-it. I am worthy to receive. Put it on your dash. Put it on your phone. I am worthy to receive. You are worthy to receive. You are. It's your right. It's your birth-given right to be happy. Get that in your head and then get it down 18 inches into your heart. You are worthy to receive happiness, and begin to let happiness flow in your life right now. Not an hour or two from now or later after you've got a few little bits of work in. Start right this very second of beginning to allow happiness to flow into your life. I am counselor and life coach Holly Davis. I'm a clinical professional counselor intern here in Las Vegas, and this program is Good Medicine. We are here every single week on Tuesdays on WWDBTV. We'll be here next week, and I really hope that you join us and share the program with others. Thanks, and have a great week.
I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. And you say I am held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, oh, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity. Ooh, oh, you say I'm loved when You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory.